So this question is really testing whether or not you understand dilations and scale factor, along with a component of dimension. So they tell us our scale factor is 3. And it's important to remember that scale factor is a one-dimensional idea. We can extend this to 2 dimensions and 3 dimensions by taking the scale factor and raising it to the power of the dimension. So if our scale factor in the one-dimensional space is 3, then in the 2-dimensional space it's 9, and in the 3-dimensional space it's 27. Well, 2 dimensions corresponds with area. 2 dimensions is length and width, or base and height. So those are 2-dimensional spaces. When we're talking about area, it's 2-dimensional. Volume is when you add a third component in, like height, which takes you into the 3-dimensional space. So when we look at this and it says for choice 1 that the area of the image is 9 times the original triangle, that actually fits with that idea of scale factor, that dimensions always control the number of times you apply the scale factor. You can test this out if you want, by the way. If you just make up an example where you have a triangle centered at the origin with a height of 4 and a base of 2, then when you dilate it by a scale factor of 3, then this base will come out to 6, and this height will come out to 12, because both of those are one-dimensional and they'll both be multiplied by the scale factor. And you could just test it out. The area of the small triangle is 1/2 2 times 4, which is just going to be an area of 4. The area of the larger triangle is 1/2 6 times 12, which will be an area of 36. And you could tell it's times 9 to go from the smaller area to the larger area. So even if you didn't know that fact about the dimensions and the scale factor, you could just test these things out and get the answer. Now, perimeter is one-dimensional. Perimeter is just a length. And it's a little bit weird because you guys think of it as different than lengths, but it's a length that's been bent around. Imagine taking like a straight string and just curving this long piece so that it fits around a triangle. It's still one-dimensional. It's still just a length, but it's just been curved or bent into shape. So 2 is out because the perimeter will just be 3 times as big. Choice 3 and 4 are counting on you not understanding dilation. We've said it in other videos, but dilation preserves shape. It doesn't preserve size, but it does preserve shape. And when we talk about shape, we mean angles and we mean slope. So after a dilation, slope will always be the same and angle measure will always be the same. So anything that asks you, that tries to tell you after a dilation, these things are 3 times as big, that's just not how dilations work. Dilations always preserve slope and they preserve angles.